Hello everyone, let us now discuss the second question in today's LeetCode Weekly contest. Maximum sum with at most k elements. So, to explain this question, let me take this example where we are given with this grid and every row is having a limit. That means every row is having a limit, and from only this limit I can take elements. So that means here I have a limit of 1. So I can take only one element from this row. Here I have 2 as my limit. Here I can take at most 2 elements. When I say at most, there is also possibility that I can take only one or take 0 elements from my row. But I can take only 2 elements from this total grid and get a maximum sum. Now, how can I do that? So, here I have a probability of taking 0 or only one element. Now, if I don't take any element, then it would be nothing, right? But what if I take one element? But when I take one element to get a maximum sum, I won't be taking 1 because 1 would not give me a maximum sum. That's why I'll take 2 instead. So if I take 2 from my row, so here I have 2 as my initially I have took 2. Now let us see the number of elements I took is only 1 till now. Here nothing, which is 0. Now imagine I took nothing from my rows, so it would be 0. But if I take only 3, then my number of elements would be 1 and the sum is 3. Now if I take only 4, it would be only taking 1 elements from the total grid. But if I take both 3 and 4, then the total number of elements I took from the grid is 2, which is equal to the value of k. So I need to stop here. But what if I took 2 and 3 from the second row? Then the total number of elements I took is 2. Now 2 from the first row and 4 from the second row, and the total number of elements I took are 2. So by this way, I'll take all the combinations and get the maximum sum. The maximum sum would be here where 3 comma 4 is my answer. So 7, I'll return 7. But this would be taking like more time complexity. Let us take another example, and before that, as I said, the intuition is taking the element which is greater. I'll take every time the greater element. Now, I'll take 7, I'll take 5, and can I take 3? So, if you ask me, can I take 3? I would say no, you can't take 3 because the limit, the maximum limit here is just 2. Why shouldn't I take 3? Like, because if I took 3, then the sum would be lesser than taking 5. Here I get 12, but if I take 3, I would get only 10. That's why I'll sort every row. I will sort every row and take only the elements which are greater and come under the limit given in the question. Now, I'll do the same thing here. 8 is the first greater element, and then 6 is my next greater element. 8 and then 6. Now, what would be our intuition is I got all the elements from the limits, and these are all those elements which I can take. But how many elements should I take? Here they gave that only 3 elements. So if I go through row by row, 7, 5, 8 and then 6, and take the first three elements, then I get something like 12 plus 8, 20. But wait a second. Instead, taking by from first to last, let me sort this in descending order so that I'll get the maximum element first. And by taking the maximum elements one by one till k, I would get the maximum sum. 8 and then 7 and then 6 and then 5. So 8 plus 7 would give me 15 and 15 plus 6 will be 21. I think this would be our answer. Right. Now, so let me start writing the algorithm. The first thing I did is sorting every row. Now, how did I sort? Descending order. Now, after that, after sorting them, at every row, I am taking the elements which are coming under the limit. So, sorting every row in descending order. After, take the elements till limit. So, I'll take the elements till limit and I'll store that in vector long of elements. So these elements store all these elements, right? So if I say it, these are all the elements, or these are all the elements that I need to sort it again after iterating the grid completely. Now, after, take the elements till limit. Now I took the limit. Then what I need to do, push back this into my elements. So after pushing this back, after sorting a row in descending order, I am taking the elements till limit, then pushing back these elements, that means this row which is having till limit, into my elements. Now I have done iterating here. My grid. So after that, what I need to do? If you see clearly, I have done sorting it in descending order. My elements are sorted in descending order. So I'll do one thing. Sort elements in descending order. Now, what I did then take the first k elements so that into sum. So I did the same thing here, taking the first three elements into consideration, and that means into sum, and I return that sum to my function, right? So into sum and then return this sum. I think this is clear to you, and I think this is the most optimized solution before using any queue or any priority queue. And if you like this video, share it to friends and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.